minutes up, I'm going to teach you a couple new things that should be pretty useful. So one new thing is another way to have a little bit more insight into our program. It's kind of like another part of the live debug menu, except you don't actually have to implement or turn on live debug mode to benefit from it. Okay, so this also ties into variables. All right, so one really useful thing that you could do is, for example, have a global variable that is the bridge between structured text code and ladder logic code. All right, for example, buttons and inputs and registering which wash cycle you want in your car wash is a great use for a ladder logic program that you could then just pass a variable over to the result of that program. Okay, so essentially, like the result of something can be stored into a variable. Okay, and that variable can be used as an input, a virtual button, if you will. Okay, so I'm just demonstrating this as a local variable, but you could of course make this as a global variable if we stuck it in our global variables. Okay, but I'm just putting it in local. We see up here button 1 status. Okay, the way that I made this was by inserting that variable. I'm going to remove that because I just put that there. Things to note is that this is a Boolean data type. Okay, a data type, again, is like what kind of data we're putting into this memory hole, this register. It can be a Boolean, which is a 1 or a 0, true or false. It can be an integer, which is a whole number, positive or negative. It can be L-real, which is fractions of a number, right, decimals. There are also all kinds of other things. You can even store wonky stuff like time, which is like, the calendar timestamp. But right now we're just working with Booleans because we just want to store 1 or a 0, true or false. Okay. All we're really doing in this simple program of mine is we are storing the current status of button 1. Okay, so you guys see how I created a contact. This is a second rung running alongside my original LED code. So when I press this button, or rather, we are storing the logical output of this button. Okay, it's unpressed, so it's outputting 0. If this was a normally closed button and it's not pressed, it would be outputting 1, right? We are always storing every cycle, every 10 milliseconds, it is storing the output of this element to this variable. Okay, so it's writing 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, and if it changes, if we press that button, it will go to 1. Okay, so just like you see here, this right here is a watch element. Okay, we are looking at the real-time status of that true-false variable. Okay, the virtual switch inside of our system. The way that I did this was you have to bring up the window. You have to go to View, Watch. Very important. Please do this. Please have it on your monitor. Okay, that will open up a new window. It's right on the side. It'll be blank. But what you can do after that is here. I'll just blank mine out. Okay, you can drag and drop right there. You can keep an eye on any variable you choose, right? So even over here in our main program, right, I just went over here, I double-clicked on the main program that's running all the time. Okay, this also has a global variable that we can drag into our watch list, and look at that, we can see it count up in real time. Okay, so let's see. So you have to go to global vars, expand the global vars. You can see it right here. And then drag and drop yes, and then that highlighted section, drag that into watch. Yes, drag, 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 drag. There you go. Yes, there you go. So any variable you can drag and drop over into that window and keep an eye on it. So really powerful tool. Again, like the whole strength of this program, why we use PLCs is because we can peek under the hood, right? It's really difficult to do that in a normal computer environment. But whenever we say, why isn't my logic working? Why is my, ones, zeros when they should be, whatever. You can use these elements and inspect, see what is true and what is false and why they are that way, and try to, change your logic accordingly. Okay. So, any questions on what we just went over? How we get to the watch window, what watching variables does, anything like that? Are you in live debug mode currently? Nice. Can you try restarting the program and launching the project again? I think it'll be okay as part of the program. It looks like you were doing the right thing. Anyone else have a strange issue or other problems? Yeah? Okay, so yeah, just close out the program and try it again. You should, pretty much just like I showed up here, there shouldn't be any tricks unless I'm missing something. Okay, that when these are, this is blank, right? As if I never added those in the first place. You should just be able to click or not have this highlighted, click and drag. And then just like so. Okay. It has to be, your PLC has to be programmed with the latest code and running, right? And it has to not be in like debug mode. Okay? All right. Ready for the next thing? Chewed on that enough? All right, another tool in your toolbox, okay, is set and reset nodes, okay? This is a latch, if you guys are more familiar with that terminology. So I'm going to delete this, and I am going to set this as a set node, okay? So I'm going to upload this, right, which compiles it for me. And I'm going to go into live debug mode. When I press this button, it stays set. The green LED stays on, even if I'm not pressing the button, right? It latched on and it locked. Okay, this is the power of the set node. Okay, most of the rest of the power comes from the reset node, which we kind of need another input element for. I wish we had another button on board, but we don't. I'm just going to demonstrate the concept of it. If we had another button that we could reset that latch with, okay, say we had like button 2, and we used the reset node, oops, okay, if I pressed button 2, that would unlatch my green LED. It would turn it off until I pressed that other button to relatch it again, okay? Really useful for like setting a run state, right? Turning a machine on and off is a latch. Safety switches can often be latches when you engage or disengage them. All kinds of clever logic can be done by setting and unsetting variables using ladder logic. Okay? Again, it's not anything grand or complex, but if you add these simple elements together, you can get some really complex programs, some really comprehensive software. Any questions on set and reset? Feel like that's pretty clear? Cool. All right, so you guys have more than enough tools at your disposal now. I think you're also pretty familiar, I hope, at this point. I'll let you loose on Lab 1. Goal of today, again, will be to finish up Lab 1, have that submitted on Blackboard, both the ladder logic and the structured text portions. If you don't finish it, it's not the end of the world. Again, we'll have rolling time at the end of each class to get that going, but that's the goal. Sound good? Sure. Oh, your windows are messed up? Yeah, I gotcha. Anyone else, any other questions? Oh, in the toolbox. You have a question?
How do I change the language?
I'm not sure. I don't know if you can. Do you know if that's like an option online? Oh, you're trying to change this variable. Okay, so I see what you're doing. So there we go. Okay, I see. You click on one of these tabs. So this gets you back to the view that I had, where you can just, if you're not
that, or if you want to change the name.
Is that answer your question? Okay, I gotcha, I'm sorry. So yes, we want to go to projects, and then you need to add a new program. Add new program. And then make sure you have the fast password. Yeah. Are you good? Okay, great. Anyone else have a problem? Okay. Honestly, you might want to just close it out and open it back up. I think it will restart. I know it's a game. It seems like okay, so for that. So your resources tab. Oh, sorry. There you go. Now you're close enough, right?
Yeah, my project from last week is gone. You know, or my,
Memory doesn't keep overnight.
okay. Restart.
Hopefully it wasn't a big loss or.
Yeah, yeah, good practice. I
Yep.
just wanted to reset the LED light to be on. Just like that.
So that's what I was saying. If you had the wire, okay, so if you put the wire from one here to I1, and then you set up the variable in your resources tab that says I1 is some variable, and then you would set it to button 2, which actually you would say button 2 is I, and then I2. Okay, so put that on. Yeah. Questions? You doing okay, Daniel? You have any questions?
Yes, I did. Yes, this I did your example, but I don't know what to do next. I don't know, should
What to do next? So your lab, lab 1.